Those out and about in Beijing this Saturday may come across a blast from the past. That's because over 100 people from around the world have come together for a very traditional style bike ride. Inspired by the London Tweed Run, Beijing hosted its first ever vintage ride on April the 20th. Those taking part came from all walks of life, and everyone was welcome. The only catch was that they had to dress either in vintage British tweed fashion or traditional Chinese attire. Some cyclists chose to wear the Mao suit, the kind of clothing which almost every rider in Beijing would have been wearing during the heyday of the bicycle in the 70s and 80s.
I think that's just, a lot of the foreigners here have chosen to go Chinese, and a lot of the Chinese have chosen to go the kind of classic English vintage style.
Yeah, which has been fun to see. It's really nice.
You're from the UK. Were you aware of the tweed?
The vintage bike ride, the tweed run in London, yeah. I'm aware of that, and the Chap Olympics and stuff like that. I've taken part in things like that back in London. So this is nice. Yeah, it's nice. I always like dressing up. So, it's been a lot of fun.
So it's nice then to dress up in Chinese vintage rather than something we do back home.
Something new.
Why is that? Why do you like dressing up in Chinese vintage?
This isn't something you'd be able to do, I guess, all the time there.
Yeah, it's not something that would necessarily make sense to people back in England or back in the US. But here it makes perfect sense. It registers with everybody here at some level, both sort of expats and the Chinese. So.
And everybody's interested in it. Everyone comes out and asks, "What are you doing this for?" "Oh, you look great," and showing us the proper way to pose. So it's been fun.
So do you want to give it a pose?
Oh, definitely.
Cafe Cirque came up with the cycling event to pay tribute to this simpler time, as well as the bicycle's recent revival as a fashion statement. Organiser SHANNON told us how the bicycle continues to hold an important place in China's history, as well as Beijing being one of the most famous cycling cities in the world. Tell us why you organised the bike ride.
Well, we wanted to do something that celebrated vintage Chinese cycling culture because, China, and especially Beijing, has an amazing old bicycle culture. And many cities around the world are celebrating their own bicycle cultures, so we thought it's time that Beijing did something special and celebrated its unique culture.
Are you hoping to do it next year and the year after and keep it going?
Oh yeah, we'll have another one before the end of the year. I think the turnout today was fantastic, and you can see that everybody took it very serious to get dressed up, and I was very happy to see that the winner was wearing traditional Chinese dress, and I think we're really starting to see the start of a new Chinese cycling culture emerging, and it's fantastic to see such a great turnout and so many well-dressed people today.
SHANNON said to look out for more events of a similar nature later this year.